Sorry, I'm just like really thrown off with the technology thing. Like I can never get over things. But yeah, I sent him the link. So Millennial Farmer will be joining us today. He actually did come out and visit our farm last spring, and he was the reason behind why we got so inspired to do YouTube again. But yeah, he will be joining us shortly. He's actually a pretty popular guy. He was doing a podcast before this too, so
Really?
he's
Wait, that's actually kind of crazy. Oh, I didn't know he was popular. That's really cool.
yeah, he's a little popular around these parts. My week
Evelyn, you're
was
making
good.
me mad. Evelyn's triggering me already today, so.
I am just telling you and I can't hear you. So he won't be able to hear you either. That's really cool.
That
That's
is
so cool.
I feel like we're yelling in lowercase right now.
What is your problem today?
I have a lot of problems with you.
I didn't even do anything.
Yeah, well, I don't like how you're holding it like that.
I am on a couch, so I have no choice.
Hello, tri-state area.
Welcome. Today's weather forecast brings in a big storm of Millennial Farmer.
Yeah, I'm cutting all this out.
No.
I go to Florida next week.
That's exciting.
Yep.
You're so annoying today. Welcome back to NYFG Podcast. I'm your host, Evelyn, and today we don't have Claudia, actually. Kind of. Oh, shoot, she is here.
Here's the thing, everybody. This is our third time recording this intro, and I'm over it.
It seems we've been having technical difficulties, which puts us in a really bad mood. So every intro has been like, "Welcome to NYFG. Today we have."
Okay.
But anyways,
Enough.
today is an awesome podcast because we have everybody's favorite farmer, everybody's favorite YouTuber, everybody's favorite race car driver, everybody's favorite everything.
I don't know about that one.
AKA Zach Johnson.
Mr. Zacharoni.
What'd you say?
Mr. Zacharoni. Here's the thing, everybody. First of all, I apologize. I know this recording is gonna look like garbage, but it's the content that counts. It's the content that counts. Who cares? I'm over Evelyn's blurry face and whatever. So, we were talking about our weeks a little bit, and we realized that nothing exciting happens in our life. So,
except for my birthday, I turned 22 and I got a limo and I went crazy. But yeah, Claudia's week sucked, but mine was great.
No, I had one good thing that happened too. So, anyways, everyone, happy belated birthday to Evelyn. La-di-da-di-da.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I hope it was a great day for you and a day you'll never forget. Okay.
Yeah.
I did go to a Parker McCollum concert in Kearney, Nebraska, which is kind of fun because I've been to a concert since like Chris Jansen last October. So that's like almost over a year ago. It was over a year ago. So that was pretty exciting. Every mask mandate is getting lifted, not to get political here. Okay. But super excited about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Evelyn and I are pretty excited about today's guest because you guys just love to rave and rave and rave. You're like, I don't want to watch you anymore. I'm going to watch Mr. Zach Johnson. So what's our solution? We're going to have him on the show today. Mm-hmm. He's coming on in a couple minutes, so everyone just sit tight and grab your popcorn because we've got a lot to cover today. A lot of weird things to cover. I think we might uncover a side of Zach Johnson that you guys may have not seen in the past.
I agree. A little different. Switch up.
You're listening to the NYFG podcast with Evan Claude.
I haven't had Diet Coke in 6 months, and I had 2 cans today. That's why I'm so hyper.
Coke is gross. Any kind of dark soda, I don't agree with. And I've been doing homework all the ding dong day. I was doing my business English earlier, learning about punctuation. So if you guys notice me using commas in the more proper spots, you know why.
Yes, because I just heard you say you put a comma in that sentence, actually.
Yeah, I know. That would actually be a dash. No, wait, no. It'd be a hyphen. There's a difference between a hyphen and a dash. A dash is longer than a hyphen. A dash is actually two hyphens put together.
Ooh, so interesting. Tell me more.
Really? Because I do have a lot of information.
No.
You know that the word SIC, like sick, in brackets means thus?
How
I don't know why they
interesting.
would not just say thus, though. Like, it seems like really extra.
Yeah, it does.
Because Evelyn doesn't like to tell me when I'm frozen, and then I edit the whole thing, and I'm like, this whole time, like, so that I can't post it on YouTube.
That happened last time, actually.
Could, I guess. ASMR? ASMR break, everybody. That's my impersonation of drinking orange juice. Stop. That's my impersonation of drinking orange juice in the morning. If anyone wants to see any more impersonations, let me know.
Can you do the cow drinking out of the water trough, please?
No. I'm scared now.
Fine, I will. Tri-state area.
Welcome to the tri-state area. We're going to give you all the weather updates that you're ever going to want to know. Oh, in the corner, it's giving me a warning to let everyone know that they're being recorded for privacy purposes. So.
What?
Yeah. So.
You have to do that?
Yep.
Okay, whatever.
Well, it won't let me record if I don't. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's professional.
Sometimes I really question Evelyn's intelligence.
I put a hawk in the new logo that I'm making for the trucks, and Dad said to switch it to an eagle. What? Like, why?
That's weird. Can I see the logo?
It's not done. I have to put a tractor in it he wants. I'll show you it so far. Pretty simple. I want to keep it simple, but Dad likes to load stuff in there.
He's like, and then put an airplane, and then put some tillage in there, and then.
Just send it to you.
Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, I blocked her. I blocked Evelyn earlier. I totally forgot about that. She was annoying me.
I haven't talked to you all day. Oh wait, yeah, I did. I was texting like a million times. You wouldn't answer.
We're FaceTiming. I guess she doesn't value our FaceTimes like I do.
It was like 2 seconds. Did you see it? I drew those grain bins.
I can tell.
Oh, what's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It looks really good.
Oh, someone else is here. Right? I think so.
Yes.
Yay!
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Hello. Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
I thought you're on another podcast. You're pretty busy.
Well, it depends on the day. Some days I'm not very busy.
Must be a grain farmer thing.
Yeah, I guess. What can I say?
All right, so I apologize. I'm like really blurry. We've been having technical difficulties like this whole day, so we're just gonna roll with it.
You sound better than you look right now.
Okay, good. That's all that matters. I'm sure you're sick of talking by now, but...
All right, everybody, we're welcoming Mr. Zach Johnson to the podcast today. Super excited to have you here. And we're going to ask you some questions, but we also have some non-farm related questions we're going to ask, so get ready for those. Do you want to, maybe, I don't know who wouldn't know you, but if you want to introduce yourself, like where you're from, what do you do?
First off, I'm impressed that you said Mr. Zach Johnson. That seemed very, it was quite the introduction. Yeah, so I'm not Zach Johnson, the golfer. I'm Zach Johnson, the farmer. And I farm in West Central Minnesota with my family out here. And I am the millennial farmer. How do you say that? I always say I have an online presence called the millennial farmer. How do you guys say that about yourselves?
I guess we just say we have a social media platform. Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. I'm never sure quite how to say that, but
yeah.
Type in Millennial Farmer in Google for anybody who doesn't know what I'm about, and you will see.
All right, so you came out to see our farm, what was it, last February?
January, I think.
Yeah, January or February, a little over a year ago now.
Yeah, so that was really great meeting you in person too. My first question is, since you got to see New York farming and you already know what it's like farming in Minnesota, I want to hear like what's the best part about farming in Minnesota, like, and also what you thought about New York farming.
The first thing is I was actually surprised at how like a lot of parts of it seemed pretty similar. Like the climate seemed similar. Where you guys are at, there's a lot more hills and the fields are a lot smaller. A lot of the farmers still farm the same amount of acres as we do or more, but with smaller fields, which I was surprised at least in your area. But that's, that kind of the Finger Lakes region was kind of the only area that I've been to in New York, but I was surprised by that. You guys certainly have opportunities more so than we do where I'm at in Minnesota for like niche markets because you've got the population to pull from, you've got people out there. So that's a little bit different, but I thought it was beautiful. It seemed like a really nice place up there.
Yes. Are there like more like flat fields where you're from, like Nebraska? That's all I can think of for the flat field place. I've never been out west like there.
We're not as flat as like, I guess the flattest place I know of would be the Red River Valley, which have either of you been there?
Is that like the Dakotas?
That would be, yeah, like the borders of the Eastern Dakotas and Minnesota.
Yeah.
It starts about 40 miles northwest of me.
Okay, yeah, then I've been there.
Yeah, that is flat. And we're not quite as flat as that, but we're certainly like, thank God I had a GPS when I was out there visiting you girls, because when I left there to try to get back to town, I mean, I'd have been completely lost.
Yeah. I feel like you guys probably have like a lot bigger fields too than us.
Yeah, most of like a standard size field around us is a quarter section, 160 acres, but there's almost always like there's a house on it or like a creek runs through it or something.
Right. Yeah, we don't have anything near that. So that's a big difference. I realize, especially being from like out here in Nebraska, like everyone's like, oh my God, your fields must be so small. And it's definitely a huge thing.
Are you in Nebraska right now?
Yeah.
Like what part? Omaha?
Like Lincoln.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, getting some education out here.
Yeah, but it's not as different as one would think being that far apart.
Yeah. What would you say the best part about farming in Minnesota is then?
Best part about specifically farming in Minnesota?
Yep. Not that you farmed anywhere else that I know of, but.
Right. I this is where our family started the farm. This is where they came and homesteaded over 150 years ago now. So I guess I just really, like when I think back, that's where I want to be is where my ancestors started it all. So no matter where that would be, I think to me, that's where I would want to stay. And that it happens to be Minnesota. So, I mean, I love Minnesota, but the older I get, the more I love South Dakota too.
Yep.
But unfortunately, I can't pick up and move to South Dakota. So we don't have to get into that.
Okay, I guess we'll skip over that. I have another question, a farm-related question. So obviously you have a big YouTube presence. Has YouTubing made your farming experience a lot more enjoyable, would you say?
Well, I don't know if it's made like the experience more enjoyable because I've always loved farming and it's what I want to do and always hopefully will do. So I don't know if it's made like farming more enjoyable. There's a lot of times where it makes it more of a pain in the butt because I got to have a camera with me all the time now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of times it makes it more difficult. But, that being said, it's provided a lot of opportunities to actually make it easier for certain things on the farm, whether it be like just connecting with other people or having opportunities through those connections or financially. I mean, there's a lot of ways that YouTube has helped out on the farm, I guess I would say. What about for you guys? I want to ask the same question.
I feel like we haven't we've pretty much been doing social media and like farming our whole lives. Like we've never really known like our work like without like having to record ourselves all the time. So I feel like that's a huge difference. Like you were farming for years without like having to record yourself or care about like any of that. But we've kind of just like always known that. So
I suppose. So like if you ever quit, you're going to be surprised at
Yeah.
how you not have to worry about that.
Yeah, that would honestly, it'd be interesting. But yeah, that's definitely a huge thing, like setting up cameras and having to worry about angles and like, oh, does like my equipment look good and all that stuff, like trying to please everybody.
See, you're thinking too hard. Just, you never will please everyone.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, true.
So my question is, when did you actually start your YouTube channel?
I started in the spring of 2016, and I didn't know as much about technology as you guys. So I actually, like the first video I made, I used my iPad because I didn't realize that I could do it on my smartphone.
Oh, wow.
That's so funny.
I used my iPad, and I didn't even flip it sideways, so it wasn't landscape. It was like the narrow mode.
Oh, wow.
For that, but I learned quickly, and then I switched to the phone not long after that. But yeah, it was spring of 2016, and I got plenty of views, enough to motivate me to keep going. But then come like 2017, I wasn't sure what I was going to do anymore because I kind of felt like I'd already done I did all the videos in 16. Well, now what do I talk about? And what I found was that people don't care. They still want to follow along and see, because farming, even though it can be the same, it is always different. I mean, every single day is different. There's always something that comes up, whether it's the weather or a breakdown or sick cows or whatever it might be. And then in the fall of 2017 was when things started to take off for me, and I guess it's just been snowballing from there as we go.
Yeah, that was
good thing you kept going.
Yeah. With that, like, was it just like growing your channel? Was it just you posting consistently? Is that how people found you, or was there something else that you gained followers with?
I don't really know. I mean, I was trying to post every once every week or two to start with, and then like in the winter time it would get slow because I'm still busy in the winter, but not with stuff that I think is entertaining or visually appealing. Nobody wants me to make a video about like tax prep, right? You can't make that interesting. So like there's so many management decisions, like deciding on seed and chemical and what you're going to put in each field, and the management behind the scenes like that I don't know how to make interesting. So I didn't make as many videos. And then in 2017, actually, I went like 3 months without making a video. And then right before harvest, I thought, I should make some videos again. And I got the GoPro out. I made it was like a 17 or 18 minute long video, like just a consistent rolling clip that I posted. And I haven't watched it in a long time. I should go back and watch it again, but I didn't even think at the time it was a great video. And it seemed like whatever it was in that video, maybe it was just like how real it was, that people were drawn to it. And it was my first video that just took off and hit over 100,000 views in a couple of days. And it was like, what is going on here? And then that was really the kickoff to when I started trying to push out more consistent videos after that.
That's awesome. I think she's frozen. Okay, it's my turn for a question anyways. We always ask each other this because we think it's so fun to think about. If you could have any livestock besides cattle, what would it be?
Any livestock besides cattle?
Yep.
I've got a thing for bison.
Bison, that is one of mine too.
Yeah, I really have got a thing for bison, especially after going out to South Dakota and meeting the Osman family out there with Dakota Pure Bison and doing that video I did with them. It's it's definitely that's the direction I would lean.
So what do you like? Is it like bison milk? Is that what you can do? What's the market for it? Or is it just meat?
I don't know. Well, it's meat that they do. It's like steaks and burger, and yeah, eat the things.
Yeah, right. I've never eaten those, so I guess I really don't know.
They're awesome. They're you got to get them right. You don't want to overcook them because it can get dry. But if they're done right, like a good medium rare bison steak, oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, interesting. Never thought about that.
Is your answer bison too?
Mine is buffalo or bison. Yeah.
There you go.
We have a statue of a buffalo in our front yard, so I feel like it's only fitting.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, nothing else. Evelyn always says goats, but I think goats are too annoying. I've said like dogs before, but then I realized it's a puppy mill, so I was like, that's not the way we want to So, the next question is, what are your goals for the year to come?
Oh man, just to keep going with what we're doing here and hopefully have a good year when it comes to the Millennial Farmer and the farm.
Mm-mm.
Like I tell everybody, the Millennial Farmer at this point has already become like way beyond what I ever could have imagined
Right.
anyway. So trying to set goals beyond where I'm at is just I don't even know what to say when it comes to that. Like
Mhm.
farming wise, I always just say if you can progress forward, if you can make enough money for the payments, the family living, and maybe a little extra, you're doing pretty good as long as you're there year to year. You just don't want to go backwards, and everybody
Right.
wants that huge phenomenal year, and we've had a couple of those, but you can't count on it.
Yeah, I got you. Evelyn just said that her computer just like actually broke, so that's cool.
Should we
She can
just
add on her
we
phone.
can just talk trash about Evelyn the rest of the time?
Yeah, I know. That's what I've always wanted to do. I'm always like, I could do an episode by myself and like not even tell her.
Now's the chance.
Yeah, right. Oh, there you go.
Too late.
Yeah.
Back.
We were just talking about you. Okay, whatever.
My computer just restarted for no reason.
Nice. Well, you look better now.
Thanks.
5 minutes ago.
Okay, I'm back. Let's keep going.
If there was one thing I would simply devour right now, it would be cracked peppercorn cheddar by Cabot Cheese. Actually, maybe the garlic and dill cheddar. Actually, let's be real, it would probably be every kind that they produce. Evelyn and I are obsessed with making charcuterie boards lately. There's nothing like some unique cheddars to pair with your favorite crackers while watching The Bachelor on a Wednesday night. Spice up your cheese board for your next event. Your guests will thank you for putting them onto Cabot. And just a reminder, Cabot is a cooperative of dairy farm families, including our family.
Yes, and I actually just got a brand new charcuterie board, so I'll be loading it with Cabot this weekend.
So another question we have is, what is your favorite season and why?
Ooh, I think my favorite season is spring, just because like the spring, everything, as the weather's warming up and it's starting to be sunnier, I just like spring as everything starts to green up and the birds come back. I always wonder if people in the South get the full effect of that. I don't think they do, but I mean, like around here, it is a whole new world in April and May versus January, February.
Right. I agree. Unless we have like a year like we had last year when it was snowing at our house in May. Like it was so bad.
Well, that happens too, but it doesn't stick around.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Evelyn, you have another question up top. I didn't do all yours yet.
Yeah. My question for you is, what's your advice for anybody starting like a farming YouTube channel?
My advice would be to number one, even though it sounds cliche, be yourself. Like don't pretend to be someone else, because it's not going to work. People will sniff that out. So just be whoever it is that you are. And then beyond that, you don't have to make it complicated. You don't have to do fancy editing and music and whatever else. You don't have to go out on your farm and try to script something and something happening that doesn't happen. I mean, like my theory is keep it simple, and I get burned out as it is making the videos, So, I mean, I literally put the camera in my pocket every day when I leave the house, and whatever happens, happens, and it is what it is. Sometimes I end up with a video that I really like, and a lot of times I end up with videos that I don't care for, but that's the reality of it. And if you try to stretch that reality, I think people will sniff that out and they won't care for it as much. So those would be my two biggest pieces of advice. And probably the next one would be just to go for it. If you think it might be something that you're interested in, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Try it.
Right.
Like, I saw us kind of falling into that hole. Like, we're like, we want like more subscribers, blah, blah, blah. And like, we were like trying all these fancy things, and people were just like, we just want to see what you're doing like every day. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated.
Right.
But yeah.
I made a video on, I see all these people like making videos on things like everyone is doing every day, and I'm like, that's things like you can definitely do and not have to worry about. Like my dad is always like, oh my gosh, let's go take a tractor out and like get it stuck today because it's like rainy out. I'm like, oh my gosh, we don't have to do that. But yeah, he's really into it too.
He must be if he's talking about going and getting a tractor stuck. video.
Yeah. Usually I'll take the headache. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. But do you think that you use most of the videos or like most of the days that you record?
You mean like all the clips?
Yeah, like if you're recording one day and you're like, oh, that video is like so boring, I'm not going to post it. Do you do that often?
No, not very often at all. I would say in the 5 years I've been doing it, there's maybe been 3 or 4 total videos that I've done that with, where it's just like you get to the end of the day, or usually what happens is I'll get to like mid-afternoon and I'm like, okay, there's nothing here. Like, it's just not an entertaining day. You know, I don't need to force this out, and then I'll just quit. Like at that point, I'll just call it quits. But yeah, I've done that less than a handful of times.
I feel like everybody already knows the farming stuff about you, so now we're gonna ask you like really random questions.
Okay.
My first one is your social security number. If you could just like say that. If you could bring any 2 people like in the whole world besides your family and friends onto a deserted island, who would they be?
Besides my family and friends.
Yep.
Oh, man. So this is a question I've never been asked in an interview.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh man. Let's see. Who's what's the name of the actor that plays for Sarah Marshall in Forgetting Sarah Marshall? Do you know? Maybe you're too young for that movie.
Yeah,
the blonde girl.
Too young.
Well, I'm sure someone will know what you're talking about.
Is it Kirsten Dunst?
Yeah,
Is she blonde? I don't even know her name.
Is she like a survival person or something? Is that why you would pick her?
No, I just think she has a wonderful personality.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, well, maybe you're not going to live, but.
Can't bring friends or family. Man, I'm trying to think like in history, somebody interesting. I think Marcus Luttrell is cool, the lone survivor guy.
Okay.
I read his book and I follow him. I think he'd be cool to hang out with. Plus, like, he'd be a badass on the island if things went down.
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I that whole deserted island thing just freaks me out. So.
Well, see, that's why you bring a badass and a pretty girl with you. You can get out of any.
Yeah.
You have a badass.
There you go.
Really thinking.
So, okay, you kind of probably already said who my question is, who is your one celebrity you'd want to meet? Is it one of them?
I actually got to meet Marcus in Omaha at Farmer to Farmer once.
What?
Yeah. Just for a second, like he talked there and he was really interesting, and very like original, like off the cuff type of a talk. It was really good. Yeah, probably. I mean, I've already met him, but I would say, yeah, Marcus or like Andy Frisella. I really like Andy Frisella. If you guys maybe don't know who he is, but I find him to be really interesting. Tim Kennedy. You know who Tim Kennedy is?
I think I just realized that I don't know who any celebrities are.
Well, it's probably just that my definition of a celebrity and yours are different.
Okay. Maybe.
We follow different Instagrammers.
Okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
is it true that you're going to see Cletus McFarlane? Are you doing a video with him?
No. So, well, no. Cletus, I hope so in the future.
Me too, because he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Evelyn acted like she had like insider information. She's like, "Don't tell anyone, but Zach is going to see Cletus McFarlane." So I was like, "Okay."
I don't know.
That is a little bit inside, actually. I don't know what to say about that. I was surprised.
Really? So how
did you know that?
I don't know.
That is really weird.
Said it in one of his videos? I have no idea. No clue. But sorry if I ruined any surprises.
We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Claudia.
My next question is, I think we like always talk about this, so we always ask people what their biggest pet peeve is, like about like other people or about like anything.
I don't like it when people drive slow on the left side of the interstate.
Mm.
I don't like how slow most people seem to walk in crowded places like airports and grocery stores.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a big speed walker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and I hate, I dislike when people like refuse to text message.
Mm.
If I only have one thing that I need to talk to you about, I don't need to have a 45-minute phone conversation. Like, just answer my text and both of us save an hour of our time.
No, you're good. Yes, I know what you mean by that. Like, Evelyn texts me too much. She texts me like 40 times in a row, but that could be a phone call, by the way.
Well, there is a point when you just make the phone call.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with all those because Evelyn and I are both like the ones in our family that are like the fast walkers, and then
Yeah.
everyone else. I cannot stand people that walk slow.
Oh yeah.
Your turn, Evelyn.
Okay. My turn. Okay. This is actually one that I've always planned out in my head. Okay. If you had to choose, what would be your last meal ever?
I would say a medium rare ribeye steak with grilled asparagus. I want garlic mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, and Miller Lite.
That is the most American thing I've ever heard.
Yes, thank you. I eat that a fair amount, and I'm not willing to give it up.
I feel like that's a pretty good combo. Like a lot of people, I feel like do that, but
yeah, some people think the mac and cheese with the steak is weird, but I mean, whatever. Try it, man.
Right.
Why not have more delicious to the plate?
Right. I do like the garlic mashed potatoes over the regular though, because I think that's a great touch. So
yeah,
that perfect meal right there.
Perfect. So last question, actually. Any weird, specific, special talents that you have?
I can bite the top off of a beer can or a pop can.
Party tricks.
Yeah, that's a good party trick, but I don't tell people about it because it's a bit like eating away at one of my teeth, so I try not to do that anymore.
Limited days left on that one.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
I'm a private pilot, so I can fly airplanes, which I think you girls know because I was out there last year, but most people
I guess I did not know that. Oh, interesting. Do you have do you fly often?
I do not. I used to. I don't anymore, but I keep threatening Becky, my wife, that she's going to have to be ready because someday I'm going to own a small airplane, and the only thing I'm going to do with it is like fly an hour away every Sunday and get breakfast somewhere different just because I can.
That's what we should do, I think, too. But that's a really good idea. Or like go to like a farm show somewhere or go grocery shopping.
Yeah, it's like like an old Corvette. You just own it because you can for really no reason. You don't need to. I'm going to do that with an airplane.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Now that you say breakfast, our dad used to do that when he was younger because you saw my grandpa's plane. So they would fly to different pancake breakfasts.
See, that's fun. And actually, when I was like right out of high school, I would do that sometimes. Like on the weekend, I just get my buddies, like call them up. Hey, you want to fly to wherever? They're having a fly-in breakfast, and we would literally spend $300 to fly somewhere and get breakfast and come back.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun. Evelyn, is that all the questions we have?
Yes, I feel like I just learned so much more about you.
Yeah, that's fun.
I really like that island question. That threw me for a loop. So now I need to know your answers.
Oh God.
I was thinking of my own. I was like, I would never be able to answer those questions, but
let me think about
mine. The friends and family. That's what really screws with it.
Mine would be Co Wetzel is one of them, and
a pretzel.
Co Wetzel and Trisha Paytas.
I have no idea who either of those people are.
Well, that's the difference in our generations. Co Wetzel is a singer. I'm surprised you don't know who he is.
I have mine. And they're really good.
What?
Okay, my first one, I don't care. It's not political. Donald Trump, just because I've always wanted to hang out with him.
Okay.
His second one is Scott Martin. He's that professional fisherman, because then he could just catch dinner.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, I didn't think about
So-
that.
You're going to sit around and cook fish while Donald Trump sits there shirtless.
That'd be a great time. Yeah.
Great.
Well, Evelyn, if it was family members, I really hope you pick me because for my yearbook superlative, I got most likely to survive on a deserted island. I don't know how I got that, but that is what happened. Yeah, kind of a flex that I'll always carry with me.
That is a big flex. For sure.
Yeah. I didn't get like best smile or anything, but that's what I got, so I was pretty happy about that.
Better than mine. I got best eyes.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much for joining us today, Zach. Any closing thoughts or anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I think I've pretty well made a fool of myself so far.
Okay.
So that
Perfect. All right. Well, yeah, that's all we have today. So thank you again for being on with us, and we'll have to catch up again sometime.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
You too.